so it wasn't a clean sweep. I'm fine that it was Rowan. I would have rather seen him, like, after 2 eliminations, Rowan got popped and eliminated. But the only other thing to try to spin it is there was a time that the Wyatt family was outnumbered, and they were still strong enough to overcome.
Okay.
That would be the only way I could spin it positively.
Okay.
Other than that, I thought it was a solid match. We'll talk about the match on Raw, which I thought was a much better match.
Right, this match was solid.
Loved the Raw on match, or the match on Raw. This match was okay. Except for the tables just randomly breaking. I don't know. They had 2 tables, like, Devon's just laying on a table, and it's like...
And the referee's like, no, his fat ass just broke the table.
And then you have JBL like, well, is he able to limit? Why would you bring...
Right.
Why would your commentators even bring the question to the table? Like, pardon the pun, but...
Oh, there it is.
There it was. But you can't comment on that. Like, clearly it was an error that the table broke.
Right.
Under Devon's weight. So no, he's not eliminated.
Right, and like we see the referee like wave it off.
Just sweep that shit under the rug and move on.
Right, don't bring it up.
JBL.
Don't bring attention to it.
I mean, is it surprising that JBL did something dumb?
Nope.
Not at all.
Not one bit.
I'd ask him on Twitter, but he blocked me.
He's probably
For good
blocked.
reason,
He's
I'm
probably
sure.
blocked us too.
What the hell did he block you for?
Oh, he blocks everybody that doesn't tell him he has a cool hat.
I don't even think I follow him. I've never tweeted him.
Well, then
I'm going to tweet him right now and say your hat is not cool and see what happens.
Please do. Keep us posted.
I'm signing you to Twitter right now.
Maybe he'll block you by the end of the show. Matt, what was your take on this match?
What is it? JBL? Is it John?
J.C. Layfield, I believe.
Yeah, that sounds right. I mean, I was kind of confused with the Rowan thing too. I understood that he, but at the same time, like they've been making him look like the weakest of the family for so long that and we'll talk about what happened on Raw then later. But the new mask, and you think we're finally going to see this dark Rowan, and he eats a 3D and is eliminated right away. So I was confused by that, but the rest of the match I thought was good, at least because it ended the way I wanted it to. If Team ECW had won, I think I would have been a little more annoyed with the match overall.
Yeah. The fact that the Wyatts won looked pretty damn strong. Ryan, I mean, I like your take on it about they were able to face adversity of losing one of their team members and still pulling off the win. So, good there. Did you have what was the time on that match, Ryan?
The time on the match was 12 minutes and 30 seconds.
All right, very good. What's the next match?
The next match we have a changing of the Intercontinental Championship. Dean Ambrose taking on Kevin Owens, picking up the win. I forgot to count. We did have our little over/under on the little what the hell would you call it?
Where he flops back at the slingshot, yeah,
sort of rope move. But I'll have to go back and rewatch the match. But the over/under was 3. Jim and myself took over. Matt took under. So I have to go back and rewatch that, and I'll have to count them.
Right.
But match was 9 minutes, 52 seconds long. I personally thought it was a shorter match, and it felt shorter. When you're going to have a chairs match that outlasts it by almost 2 minutes, the match just I don't know. It bothered me. I guess it was such a short spot for the Intercontinental Champion. I don't know. It bothered me. I thought it could have went longer.
Okay,
I'm okay with Ambrose winning. I mean, everybody picked Kevin Owens to win. We all whiffed on this.
Yeah, we all whiffed on this one.
I think we all thought Kevin Owens was a bit untouchable. So I'm not thrilled that Ambrose won, but I can see why it is. I'm just not thrilled with it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Ryan, the match didn't feel this short. I think it was paced well, it was executed well. I think both guys did a very good job. Owens losing, it bothered me. I think I'm looking at it from a perspective of sitting here right now, if the plan is him versus Brock Lesnar, at WrestleMania, then obviously Brock does not have the championship right now. Owens now doesn't have a title. So if you're going to book him versus Brock Lesnar, you want him to look strong, like I said last week. But I said it Sunday night. I tweeted it out. I said if the only way I'm okay with this is if Kevin Owens wins the Royal Rumble. Like, and if Brock Lesnar, if the plan is for Brock Lesnar, I'd say Lesnar comes back, faces the World Heavyweight Champion at the Royal Rumble, wins the title. Owens wins the Rumble, and would in my opinion beat Brock Lesnar for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Then I'm probably okay. I don't like him losing. I don't even mind Dean Ambrose having the Intercontinental title because clearly the guy is, arguably the biggest face, gets the biggest pop out of anybody in the company right now. So it's hard to argue with a guy that is clearly getting the attention of fans. But I didn't like Owens losing, but again, hindsight now because of what we saw on Raw, but at Sunday night, I did not like Owens losing.
Yeah, I feel like the feuds for the heavyweight title and the Intercontinental title should be swapped because, when you have your biggest face of the company and your biggest heel, they should probably be fighting for something bigger than the IC title, but the match I thought was decent enough. Didn't really like the outcome either, but it's like we talked about it. There's two ways they can go with it, and from what I saw Raw, it seems like they're going in the right direction. So, here I am again putting faith in WWE to do the right thing, but I guess I'll never learn.
And to use logic, like I think that's even the more thing is for the WWE to use logic. But then the
tweet is sent, folks. The tweet has been sent
to JC Layfield.
At JC Layfield, I really do not care for your headwear on Raw. That is all. So let's see what happens. Maybe that's enough to get me blocked. We'll find out.
It's at 10:23 p.m. We're going to be on the air for about another hour yet. So we will see if he blocks you before the end of the show. If not, we'll see if he blocks you by Thursday night's show. Ryan, and then I think the next match would be the Divas match, correct?
Correct. The Divas match, which lasted longer than your Intercontinental match. For the WWE Divas Championship, we had champion Charlotte with Ric Flair. I guess that's a thing now every freaking time Charlotte's out there. Taking on Paige, Charlotte picked up the win, retaining the Divas Championship. I hope this feud is over. I do. We've seen it now at the past, 2? It feels like 8 pay-per-views. I just don't know why the chemistry isn't what it could be. And Jim, you had said that it was the Sasha Banks Becky Lynch match was a better match. Again, I have not seen that.
It was,
but I can believe that. Wasn't too impressed with the match. I did point out that it is now back in the buffer spot for this pay-per-view. So leave it at that. That's all I've got really for that.
Yeah, I mean, not to stay on Ric Flair here, but Ryan, the woo is how I say Merry Christmas T-shirt is hanging here in the 3 Count Thursday studio.
It's a fantastic shirt. It's beautiful.
I think you still have time to order one for it to arrive by Christmas. It was a 2-day shipping time, and that was their standard shipping there. I think they're based out of like New York or something. So just throw it out there, Ryan. You still have time. 80stees.com. Find the shirt. This match really. The only thing I can say is it was awful. It really was bad, and I don't know if it's because I've seen both of them work extremely well in NXT that I expect something good out of them. But man, it was bad. The execution of the Ric Flair spot to get Charlotte's foot on the rope, poorly executed. I mean, it was her foot never got on the rope, I don't think, or at least until after the count was broken. It just every time these two have been in the ring together, it just doesn't feel like it works. It just seems like everything goes wrong. or it just does not seem to flow well. I didn't like the match. I had picked Paige. You guys both picked Charlotte. So my opinion on this match is not swayed by the fact that I incorrectly predicted the outcome. It was just a bad match. And to your point, Ryan, with it being back in that buffer spot, I mean, unfortunately, on Sunday night, this match played out that it deserved to be in that spot. The only other match on the card that I think would have fit in the buffer spot would have been Rusev versus Ryback. But I think, you got to give the crowd, it paced enough that you got to give the crowd a chance to breathe a little bit coming out of the ladder match. But I think there was still a little bit of time there because then they did that Kay Jeweler commercial between this match and the main event. So it wasn't totally the the drinks and snacks time, but this match stank. I think it was the worst of the night.
No, I still think the chairs match was the worst, but this one certainly did its best to try to top that. And it's just, I just don't get it anymore. Like, I don't understand how two women that were so great in NXT can come up and just fall so flat on the main roster. And Ric Flair has just kind of become embarrassing, I think. Like, I wonder if, like, Charlotte has a say. Like, does she want him there? Or is it just like, if you're coming out, your dad has to come too? Because maybe that'll get a pop for you. And it doesn't seem to anymore. So I'm just kind of confused with where this whole feud is going, and I don't really care. So I'm really over it as well. They need to put it on Sasha soon and have a Sasha and Becky feud, and maybe bring Emma back up and Bayley to just kind of make something of the division again.
Yeah,
and that speaks a lot, though. Like, we're three guys that proudly support women's wrestling, and think it should definitely hold good spots on cards and should mean something, and all about the Divas Revolution. That when you have Charlotte and Paige, and it's just not executed well, it turns us off. Like, in such a way that I mean, Matt, I think was easily the biggest women's fan of the three of us. For him to say that speaks volumes.
Yeah, and I mean, we know they're capable of it. I mean, I went to the NXT show in Philly, and Charlotte and Sasha main evented, and the crowd just went nuts for them. It was just a huge pop the whole way through. So I don't understand what's being lost in between NXT and WWE, where because I mean, I'm all for giving them a chance, but it's just, I'm finding it hard to get into it at the main stage like we can at NXT. Hell, I even found myself enjoying the Bayley-Eva Marie match, even though, Bayley was wrestling a crash test dummy the whole time. It still felt more real to me than what we see in the main roster.
Yeah, no, it just doesn't come across well. And I just, part of me, and I agree with you, Matt. Like, I mean, I've always liked Ric Flair. I like his podcast, but him being out there, it's bad. I don't think it helps Charlotte. I don't think it helps. It doesn't help the feud at all. It just seems there was a couple points where I thought he was going to get hit. I thought he was going to he tried running. I thought he was going to have a stroke or something. I mean it just doesn't feel right having Ric Flair out there, and it's like sad to say that. It's sad that we've hit that point, because he was always such, when he was on the show, it made it worth watching. I think it's bad, and that this match was bad. That I don't know what they need to do on that level, but and just get rid of this. This feud needs to be done. Get Sasha Banks involved. Get Becky Lynch really involved. Break up Team Bad. Break up Team Bella, or Brie and Alicia Fox. you know,